Okay, now let's go on to the next type of problem, which is a mixture problem. Suppose that whole milk with 4% fat is mixed with 1% low-fat milk to make a 2% reduced fat milk. How much of the whole milk should be mixed with the low-fat milk to make 60 gallons of 2% reduced fat milk? Well, we'll go back to the drawing board here. And again, we have to establish our variables. This is the system, so we will have two variables and then two equations. Now we're being asked how much are we mixing of each type of milk. So there's our variables. The X I'm going to call the number of gallons of the 4% fat milk, which of course is your whole milk. And then I'm going to call Y the number of gallons of the 1% fat milk, which is the one that's called low fat. Now we do know that we want to get 60 gallons, so there's our first equation. If we add the amounts of each that we're mixing, they should total 60 gallons. The other thing we know is the amount of fat that is in each of the milks. The whole milk has 4% fat, so if we take 0.04 times X, the amount of milk, that'll give us the total amount of milk in the mixture. And we will do the same thing for the 1% milk, so 1% of Y. All that should add up. Now here's the tricky part with these mixture problems. We want to get 2%. Well, to get the amount of fat in the 2% milk, we have to take the 2% times the 60 gallons that we want to get. And so this equation represents the amount of fat in the milk. Now this time I am going to solve this using a substitution method. So here I'm going to solve for Y, so I'm going to subtract the X from both sides. And now I will substitute the 60 minus X into this equation for the Y. So I'll have 0.04x plus 0.01 times 60 minus x. And I'll go ahead and multiply 0.02 times 60, and I will get 1.2. And I will continue to solve by distributing. The 0.01 times 60 will give me 0.6, and 0.01 times negative x will give me 0.01x, which is still equal to 1.2. Okay, now I will combine like terms. And so if I combine the 0.04x and the 0.01x, I will get 0.03x plus 0.6 equals 1.2. Now I will subtract the 0.6 from both sides and get 0.03x equals 0.6. Divide both sides by the 0.03. These cancel and I get x equals 20. Now we need to interpret our answer. What does x equal 20 mean? Well, x, we said up here, stands for the number of gallons of 4% fat milk or whole milk. Okay, so this is 20 gallons of whole milk. Now we need to find out how many gallons of the low-fat milk we want to mix here to get our 2% milk. So I'm going to take this 20 gallons for X and put it back into this equation up here. So I will have 20 for X plus Y equals 60. Subtract 20 from both sides. And we get Y is 40. So we have 40 gallons of low fat. Okay. And again, to check it, you would do the same thing as you did in that last problem. We want to see the percentage of fat in each of the mixtures and see if it adds up to this total fat, which is 1.2. So 20 gallons of 4%, so I take 4% of 20. Gives me 0.8. And I take 1% of 40, which gives me 0.4. Add it up, and I have 1.2, and that checks out.